Who is my neighbour? Is it the people who stay in my stairwell? Is it the folks in the streets next to me? Is it my city, my nation, or something bigger? This was the question Jesus was asked by an expert in the law. He responded with one of the most famous parables ever told, a story I am sure you will have heard before. But as we listen to it again, try to imagine this story and ask yourself the question, who is my neighbour? On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, with all your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself." "You have answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this, and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbour?" In reply, Jesus said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, but when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he travelled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey and brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. 'Look after him,' he said, 'and when I return, I will reimburse you for any expense you may have.' Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbour to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers?" The expert in the law replied, "The one who had mercy on him." Jesus told him, "Go and do likewise." So who is your neighbour? Or maybe the better question is, who will you be a neighbour to? Who is lying by the side of the road and may need your help? What tempts you, like the priest and the Levite, to cross over to the other side? And who might the Samaritan be in your life? The answers to these questions are often uncomfortable. They challenge our assumptions and our complacency. But in them we discover what it means to be a good neighbour. And when we understand what a good neighbour looks like, all that remains is Jesus' final instruction: go and do likewise.